So today I'm talking about a P0353 code, what it is and how you go about fixing it. And so what is the P0353 code? Well, it's an ignition coil C primary secondary circuit. And what does this mean? Well, each cylinder inside the engine needs a coil that sends high voltage to the spark plug so that it can ignite the air-fuel ratio mixture that's going into the cylinders. And when you get a P0353 code, the computer's seeing that there's a problem with one of these, mainly the coil labeled number C, which is going to be the one on the number 3 cylinder. Coil A would be the number 1 cylinder, coil B would be the number 2 cylinder, and so on and so on. And so the first thing to do is to locate the number 3 cylinder on your particular engine. If you Google your engine along with firing order or cylinder location and look at Google Images, it usually pops right up. You usually can find it inside of there. For example, here's a 2009 Dodge Journey. And as you can see, the number 3 cylinder is right here. It's going to be back up against the firewall. And here's the ignition coils that are labeled on the engine. Here would be 2, 4, and 6. So number 3 is going to be up over here on this side of the engine. And when you get a P0353 code, the computer's seeing a problem with that ignition coil. And so it's going to have to be troubleshooted. Know why? And so what would be some possible causes of a P0353 code? Well, the first thing that could cause this is a bad ignition coil. It might have just gone bad and just need to be replaced. Sometimes they're easy to get to and then other times they're not. But if they are easy to get to, you can't swap it with another cylinder and just see if the problem follows. So for example, if you swapped out cylinder number 3 with cylinder number 2, and then you plugged everything back in and you started up the vehicle and you got a P0352 code, then you'd know it was a bad ignition coil and it needs to be replaced. You can also use a multimeter to test these. There's some good YouTube videos on that. But the first thing that could cause this is a bad ignition coil. The next thing that could cause this is the wiring going to the ignition coil. If there's any kind of issue there, like an open, a short, you got a bad connection somewhere, then that's going to cause problems. It's going to cause that coil not to be able to work properly. And so if you have a multimeter, you can't test the wiring to be sure you're getting the right voltages and that everything's working correctly. You will need to get schematics for your particular vehicle to know what's going on inside the wiring, since there can be differences. But if you could get schematics and you have a multimeter, you could go check for voltages, for good ground, different things like this. But the next thing that could cause this is that there's some kind of issue going on inside the wiring. And the last thing on the list is going to be a bad spark plug. And usually when you get this code, it's not the spark plug. It's either a bad coil or something inside the wiring. But that ignition coil does need to work with this spark plug to ignite that air-fuel ratio mixture that goes into the cylinders. And so it is possible that there's some kind of problem going on with that spark plug. So if you go through everything else and you can't find no issues, it could be a good idea to remove that spark plug and just be sure that it looks like it's good. Because the last thing on the list is going to be a bad spark plug. And so that's basically it. I just wanted to give a basic overview of how you go about fixing a vehicle with the P0353 code. If you have anything to add, please comment down below. If you have any questions, ask me. I'll try to answer them. This video helps you. Please click like, please click subscribe, and have a good day.